Hello guys, today I'll be talking about hardcore expeditions because I just finished a level 2 hardcore expedition recently with my friends. It was my first time trying out expeditions, and so I want to share my thoughts on it, and let's get into it. Okay, so after completing the expedition, I had a few things in my mind. So the first one was we were having trouble finding teammates because we weren't acquainted with anyone that really plays this game aside from the three of us. So it was quite tough finding other people who had similar interests, as in joining the going for hardcore expeditions. And so we spent a good 10 to 15 minutes just recruiting people. That was time consuming. So yeah, I think this feature where like you require at least 5 people to start the hardcore expedition kind of encourages and pushes players to join guilds and gather connections on when they are out going for dungeons and stuff. So it kind of creates this network, and it's a good thing in my opinion, even though I was having a hard time trying to get people to join us. But at least it pushes me to actually join a guild and actually take part in something. So the next thing would be it's definitely a fun experience because it's my first time doing this hardcore expedition, even though it's only a level 2. I had a lot of fun with my friends where we were goofing around and we were just figuring out a way to beat the boss, to try and figure out things that we can improve on when we start the next expedition. And overall it's really fun and interesting because it's co-op. So yeah, that's one really good aspect of this game. So upon completing the expedition, we realized that we got our hopes. We expected too much from it because the reward wasn't that great. We only got 5,000 silver and a Master's Royal Sigil, each of us, and of course it's a level 2 expedition, but we were still very excited for it, given that the boss was quite tough and it was quite a lengthy process. We could have improved upon all of those, of course, like speed running it. We can do a lot more improvements, but overall I still feel like it's a way to farm fame, but it's less rewarding, even though less risky, but less rewarding compared to farming in the black zone or red zone. That's just my take on it. I may change my view in the future when I start actually enjoying tougher expeditions when getting more loot from it. So as of now, I don't think it's a really great way for me to gain anything from. There are other factors that affected this whole expedition's experience, given that my team and I were inexperienced. So I kind of thought about some things that we could improve upon. First one was, of course, we spent too much time killing the normal mobs, given that we spend most of our time in the game doing dungeons, and so we would automatically assume that all the mobs has to be killed, if not we can't open the chest after we kill the boss. But that's not the case in expeditions, because you just need to finish the task, which are killing specific mobs that are listed on the right side of the screen. They have this checklist, so once you kill all those mobs, you're basically good to leave the dungeon. So we could improve upon that if as in increasing our efficiency. If we do ignore the normal mobs that are not listed on the checklist, because there were actually only 2 boss mobs that were listed on the checklist, if I'm not mistaken. But instead of just going for those 2 bosses, we literally went through like mobs after mobs after mobs, and some of them were extra tanky, and it was just a very tedious process. Next thing we could have probably done was researching on the boss's attack patterns and skills. We don't have to do it before we enter the dungeon. We can probably do it when we do enter the dungeon, because there are different kinds of dungeons in terms of the factions. Some may be heretics, some may be Morgana, some may be giants. So in our case, it was the heretics, and when we entered, there was a checklist on the right which shows the target bosses to kill. We could have researched the names and try and see certain clips on how people defeated them, instead of going in and just dying over and over again because we didn't know how each attack works and what are the damage. So I thought the expedition wasn't gonna be too hard. I didn't expect it to be easy, but I thought it wouldn't be too hard. So I brought in items that were around 1k item powers, and so did my friends. And the two other strangers, they brought in gears that are around 1.2 to 1.3k in terms of item power. So that was our team composition, and the thing we can improve on is obviously bringing in better gears, because we can afford it. We just didn't think we would need to buy those kind of things. We basically underestimated the expedition, and because expeditions don't really have a power cap, unlike Hellgates or Corrupted Dungeons, it helps a lot by bringing in better gears, because you can always maximize the usage of it. So that's something we can improve upon. So finally, we were an inexperienced team. We had no idea what the heck we were doing. We had like 3 people going on their first expedition. I'm not sure about those 2 other strangers, but probably could have worked better if they were someone that we worked with for a longer period of time. So as we gain more experience and figure out what to do best with each team member, we can probably increase our efficiency and reduce our casualty. That would improve our profit as well, and that would make the whole experience better. And so team composition was not too sure what to do with it, but usually we'll go with if there were 5 people, we'll usually go with 1 healer, 1 tank, and 3 DPS. Probably throw in an arcane mage in one of the DPS just to do the crowd control thing. And yeah, I'm not too sure what to do with the team compositions yet, as we've only completed 1 expedition. But there are more to come, so. And yeah, that was my first experience with a level 2 hardcore expedition. It was, I wouldn't say tons of fun, it was fun, but we learned a lot as well. And yeah, I hope this video helps some of you out there, because there weren't many materials I could work with for like people around my tier. Most of them were people with elder gears, and they were talking about level 6 and 8 level 6 and 8 expeditions on Reddit, online, on forums, and there weren't much explanations or reviews done on the lower level expeditions. So I hope this video helps some of you out there, and yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, bye. Wait, give me a sec, I'm CD.
This is a stupid boss, man.
Well, it's like the Reaper, because it's a level 5 boss.
Opposite. Go opposite.
Oh, go opposite.
Type in the group chat lah.
Yeah, they cannot hear you, brother. Also, if we defeat him, we get to go in this chest space, I guess. Go. You want to start?
Place, wrong time.
Try and stay far from us, because we don't want him to. Yeah. Oh, dodge! I have no idea how to dodge that. Dodge! We need a heal, we need a heal. Careful, careful, I think he's gonna throw the big ass AoE damage thing.
Oh shit, shit. Elton, leave, leave. Don't stand here.
Yeah, that's the big AoE thing that we were talking about. Elton, you're healing the wrong guy. We dodged that thing and we can do it.
Don't stand here, don't stand here.
We can do it, we can do it.
Don't stand here, don't stand here. Don't stand here. Don't stand so near to me.
Yeah, yeah,
I know
exactly,
how you
exactly.
use skill already.
We can do it, we can do it. Yes! Ah! 4K.
Walao. Huh?
Wait,
Like this only ah?
wait, that's it?
Walao. Expedition.
Wait, what else can we do? Is that it?
5,000 silver. That's all.
Royal Sigil? Wait, what?
The expedition, I don't know. Truly, this is terrible. I wasted 20k on this.